Hi friends, I'm back with another video and today we'll be discussing about tickle procedures. We'll be covering only one topic today because it's very important topic. Extremely important as it helps in in many of your commands that many of your codes which would be performing some certain function can be written as one single command and can be used over again and again and again. So it's very important. Please pay attention to it. We'll be covering only just one video so that we're absolutely clear what it works and how it works. And I'll request you all to practice it at your home and practice it as much as possible because it's very important. Also, to all the new listeners, if you haven't watched my previous videos, please go ahead, watch the previous videos so that you will get an idea what tickle is, how tickle works, basic operators in the tickle, and how can you write small programs using tickle programming. And I have also mentioned in those in my first video that how you can download an active tickle program and how you can do coding, like how you can practice tickle on your system itself without the use of any internet. You can just pop up the shell window. I'll be showing you an example like how to pop up the shell window and practice. And to see the details, watch first video. And to see the other like basic introduction and about the tickle word grouping, substitution, and operators, watch other videos. So let's start with today's topic, that is tickle procedures. So what is tickle procedures? Basically, these are also known as procs. So short form for procedures is proc. And as I told you, they're highly useful and these are the procs are used to create new tickle commands. So basically, if you want to create a tickle command and if you want some command to perform a certain set of functions, right? Like let's say if I want to take out the average of some numbers. So instead of giving commands in multiple lines, what I can do is I can simply write a proc and I can keep calling that proc again and again to get the average of certain set of numbers. I'll be showing you an example also. So it uses proc word as command to create the procs. Let's say if I want to create a proc, like let's say if you have some command, let's say I want to do a mathematical operation. I'll use the keyword expr as expression and then in the bracket I'll write 1 plus 2 or whatever the mathematical function I want to operate. So I'll make sure that I'm writing expr so that tickle interpreter understands I'm calling some mathematical function. In the similar way, we'll be using proc keyword as the command so that tickle understands that now this person is going to write some certain set of commands which it has to, accumulate in one and create it as one command. Okay. And how a basic proc looks like, in the next line you'll see that I have shown in this particular slide only that how a basic proc looks like. So first it will be like the proc keyword will be used. Then we'll be giving name to this proc. Whatever this proc is doing. Let's say my proc is right now I'll be showing you example of the average. Then I'll give here name as average so that people will understand, okay, I'm using this proc to take out the average of some certain set of numbers. Now let's say I want to take out average of three numbers. Then in arguments I'll have to give three variables. These three variables I'll be using in the body, okay, and will be performing some commands on these three variables. or whatever the arguments we are giving. Arguments can be of n numbers, like you can give two arguments, three arguments, four arguments, multiple arguments you can give. And whatever commands you're going to write in the body, so those commands will be performed on these arguments. Okay. Now it just works like an inbuilt command. So as you have expr that calls the mathematical function that makes the interpreter understands that we are giving mathematical function in the command, the same way it whatever the name you're giving in the proc, it will work as the inbuilt command. Like interpreter will understand, okay, if you're writing this name with the arguments, then it has to call the proc, and whatever we have given in this body, like in within the proc, it has to perform this those set of commands on this particular arguments. Okay. Again, in simple words, we are trying to create a command, okay, a procedure in which a certain set of commands will be performed on some arguments. But we do not have to do that hassle of writing multiple commands again and again. That's why we are calling a, that's why we are making a procedure and we are calling it again. Okay, let me show you an example. So let's say I want to take out average of some numbers. So what I'll do, I'll write proc. By writing proc, tickle interpreter understands that I'm writing some kind of procedure. Okay. The name of the procedure is, let's say, average. So my interpreter understands that the proc name is average, and whenever I'm writing average on the console after this, it will understand, okay, this procedure is now called. In these curly braces, I'll write arguments. Okay, let's say A1, A2, A3. Now these are my variables, and on these variables, I'll be performing some certain commands. Okay, let's say set sum, expr, dollar $A1, okay, dollar $A1 plus dollar $A2 plus dollar $A3. Okay, braces close. Now for average, I have to write set answer expr dollar sum divided by 3. In my last video, I told you that dollars, uh, these brackets, the round ones, these ones, parentheses, I used so that tickle interpreter performs operations faster. Okay. Now let me close it. Now this is my proc. As you can see, first I have written keyword proc. Then I have given a name to my proc. The name is average. Then I have passed some arguments. These arguments are the variables that I have used like in the body, and where I'm performing in the body, where I'm performing some expressions on these variables to get my desired results. Mhm. Now let's use the proc. So average 246 and the average is 4. Now here you see this average 246 is working exactly like any command that Okay, let's say sum 2 plus 4 plus 6 divide by 3, 4. Now expr is an inbuilt command. These plus and divide are inbuilt operators, and average, the proc which I created, is exactly working same as these inbuilt commands, right? Now what if I have to find the average of odd numbers? Is this correct? Let me try. Mhm. Let's recheck let's check our results. So yes, the average is 5. And now let's check. Oh, okay. Got it. There you go. Since we are missing out on one decimal, that's why we are not getting the correct answer. So this means that I'll have to do a minor change in my proc. What I can do is I can simply set some. I can either use this 3, like I can either convert this 3 as decimal, or I can write simply $sum dot 00 divide by 3. Now with this, mhm, now what tool is doing? Now it's making this sum as an uh, real number, not as an whole number. You can write this also in this if you want, and if you're not writing this also, it's fine. Okay, now let's take the average. There you go. These small details we have discussed in our previous lecture. In case if you have missed it, please go through those lectures. You will find how to use these curly braces, importance of decimals, like importance of writing a number in a certain format, and you'll get to know about the operators and word grouping and everything. For today's video, this is all I wanted to explain, that what procedure is, how to write a basic proc, and how it can be used. Okay. Further more details we'll be discussing in our next video. Please do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and if in case you have any doubts, comment on my videos. You can go to my website on VLSI concepts on YouTube, and you can refer to the other videos for, for more knowledge. Thank you. Have a nice day, and thanks once again. Thanks for watching. Keep practicing.